Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm Connie Douglas from Great Stampin' with Connie. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Canada. And today is a very exciting day. The brand new annual catalog has now gone live, so everyone can order from it. For the last month, anyone who is a demonstrator has been able to order some of the products during our pre-order. For the annual catalog. They don't actually give us access to the whole catalog, but we've had some things that we could get, including all the new in colors. And so that's been very exciting. But today, the whole catalog opened up and it is now available for customers as well. So, very exciting day. I wore my Stampin' Up! T-shirt in honor of that. I wore my Stampin' Up! Earrings in honor of that. Just kind of one of those things, but yes, that's the silly stuff I've done today, and I have been playing a little bit in the craft studio. I did have some other things I needed to get done, but those are under control, shall we say. They're not finished, but they're under control, so it's all good. And now it's time to play at Craft Spot. So thank you for joining me on this crafting adventure. And if you are here, do say hello. Let me know that you're here. And I am just going to turn this down. And I am going to, can you see that? Sorry, there is glare there, isn't there? Let me see if I can tilt it just a little bit and get rid of some of that glare for you. This is the new annual catalog, and up until today, this was all that I could show you. But now we can open up to any of the pages. It's all okay. We can share anything that's in here. So, oh, look, here's one that just happens to have one of my tabs in. So what do we have here? We have the go-to greetings. This was one of the must-have stamp sets from the last catalog. So hopefully you've already got that one. But look at this one. This is fun. This is a $1 million sales stamp set in that it was designed and inspired by Rachel Tessman, who is a $1 million sales achiever. So when you sell $1 million of Stampin' Up! Product, you get to help design a stamp set. So how awesome is that? This go-to greetings was also $1 million sales achievers, Sandy Harkis. So lots of stamp sets in here are from $1 million sales demonstrators, and it is done to honor them. But oh my gosh, they just have such great ideas and inspiration. Look at this. Check this out. Countryside Inn. Oh, isn't that beautiful? I will show you more of these things when we actually spend a whole session looking at things from the catalog. I'll do probably 4 nights in a row to just celebrate the new catalog. But this is very interesting. This is one stamp, and I will probably show this again a few times, and I haven't quite decided what to do with it. But it's one stamp, and then there's a whole bunch of layering dies, and it cuts out. I should put this on this cardstock so you can see it. All of those. Isn't that fun? Like, it just beautiful for bordering things and framing things and all sorts of stuff. So I'm very excited about this one. So hello, Donna. Hello, Pat. Thanks for joining me. So there we go. But given that this is not, all about the new catalog, trust me when I tell you there are some lovely things in here, some beautiful things. And of course, as always, beautiful designer series papers and things, but all the new colors too. Woohoo! Today we're actually going to play with some of the new colors, some of the colors that have returned. And hey, Pat, how are you? Thanks for joining. We're about to begin the crafting adventure. So today, for today's adventure, I thought we would play with this stamp set. And I think I have shown this before in one of my lives, but this, oh my gosh, today I started to really play with it. Crafting with you. So I'm going to kind of assume that anybody watching this video is some kind of a crafter. Perhaps you're a paper crafter, perhaps you're not, or perhaps you're a paper crafter, but you enjoy other crafts as well. Perhaps you know how to sew. I'm so envious of you if you do, because my mother was a beautiful seamstress. And I think partly because of that, partly because I'm just not interested in it, but partly because my mom would just pick up anything that I didn't finish. I never really took up sewing. And now, of course, that my mom is no longer with us, I regret not being able to sew at least a little bit. I'm not good at it. I have her beautiful Bernina machine and I can't even make it work. So, and I don't know whether that's me or the machine, but anyway, it's very sad. Anyway, but painters, and look at the craft easel, and the people that knit or crochet, and then of course paper crafting. And there's dies that go with this. Oh, I don't have all the dies here, but there's an embroidery ring, or embroidery hoop, I guess is the proper term. There is, and things like the sewing machine and the cut and emboss machine. Um, there's dies for the stamps. It's a cute little basket. Look at these. Check these out. These are spools, and then of course, if you have a spool, you must have thread, right? And so and I don't think this will show up on the camera here. I will hold it right up. Oh yeah, the paper cutter. We're getting there. We're getting there. Can you see? Not really, right? Because it's not focusing well. Hello, focus right here. Just looking at my whole hand. Anyway, there are little, there's embossed lines in there for the thread being wrapped around the spool. Yes, paper cutter. Look, check this out. The paper cutter. And it's like you can put your piece of paper in. And I didn't realize this until today when I die cut this. There's no stamp for this, but good grief, you don't need it. All the detail is right there, built into the die. But there is also, and I cut this in a different color, and hopefully I haven't lost it, but maybe I have, but I have the purple one. It'll show up. I'm sure it's on here somewhere. I have a whole table full of bits and pieces here. So somewhere I did cut this in. So this is Pebble Path, one of our new in colors, and this is Berry Burst, which is a returning color, returning in color, now part of our core colors. If that makes sense. Anyway, there's the little cutter. Check it out. Like, the attention to detail in this just blows my mind. So I did cut that in a different color so that we could see it, but now I can't find it. And that's the one I was going to use. Maybe it'll show up, but I don't see it right now. So I think, Pat, you might say the trimmer is your favorite. There's the basket. But here's one of my favorites. Oh, look, paper snips. Are they not just tons of fun? So I did put these together. When you die cut these, you get two pieces. So you get, one half of the scissors and you get the other half. So I cut both of them in basic black cardstock, and then I cut them in basic white cardstock, and then I chop the white off at the knees so that it could just be like the blades of the scissors. I was going to do it in silver, and then I decided for this one to just do it in white. And that's just a little festive pearl in there for the little bolt in the scissors. There's your art easel, and just so many fun bits and pieces. So I thought that we would just have a little play with this today and see where the adventure takes us. I really wish I could find that, but it's such a tiny piece, eh? I don't know. So as I get started, full disclosure here on how some of my day has gone. Oh, look, don't lose it. I found it. So there it is, the little cutting blade in Pebble Path. I should put that on my trimmer right now so it doesn't get lost, but I'll just set it there for now. So I was stamping the cut and emboss machine, playing around, and the first, I stamped it in Blueberry Bushel. And of course, Blueberry Bushel is a returning in color. And so it's a new ink pad, very, very juicy. And so when I stamped it, it was so juicy, I didn't get any definition on my cut and emboss machine. And so I got out my spoon and I moved the ink. So if you, the new ink pads can be very, very juicy. So if you find that you're getting something like this, you're not getting the definition that you're looking for in your stamps, it's probably because your ink pad is so juicy. So all you have to do is just take the back of a plastic spoon and just kind of push the ink out to the edges. Okay, and then there'll be less ink. You can see I've got ink on my spoon now. That's okay. It will just, it will rinse off with water. For now, I'm just going to wipe it on a paper towel, just so I don't get it anywhere. I'm not going to actually run to the tap, but anyway, that's what you do. And then when you ink your stamp again in the middle, there's less ink there so that you can get the definition that you were looking for. So I did that, but it didn't work. So then I thought, well, let me just try a whole different ink pad. So I tried Lost Lagoon, and it was also too juicy and gave me no definition. And I'm thinking, okay, what is wrong? And now I'm starting to look at the stamp going, is the stamp defective? Is this not working? But I knew I had used it before. So I'm looking a little bit closer. And then I realized I had mounted the stamp upside down. And when you mount it the right way, it stamps just fine. And you get the definition. You'll see here, there's the piece that's out here, right? So it's obviously, I had it on my block completely backwards. So yes, do as I say, not as I do. Mount your stamps right way up. It'll give you the definition you're after in your stamping. So that was, that's today's fess up moment. Okay, let's do some crafting here. What are we gonna do? So I have brought in, I was thinking I would use the Lost Lagoon. And so I have a Lost Lagoon card base and the Berry Burst trimmer with a little bit of the, that's Lemon Lolly cardstock that we're going to cut. And here is my trimmer. And you know what? Now I am just going to put a dot of glue onto this and stick it down so that it doesn't get lost anywhere. Okay, just a little dab will do you on this one. So, and this way, it right about there. There we go. Now we won't lose that. All right, so I've Lost Lagoon, and then I was going to do a Lemon Lolly layer, just because I want to play with the new colors. That, or I have, oh, could do this. Oh, this is so in Canada, this is Moody Mauve. In the United States, this is Moody Mauve, which has been also interesting. We're learning so many things with these new colors, because one of them is it's pecan something or other. I want to say pie, but I don't know. Is it? Oh, it is. So in Canada, it's pecan pie. And I believe in the US, it's generally pecan pie. So it's been really interesting chatting with people about what they call things. This really looks like it should have been embossed, doesn't it? It's looking just a little kind of plain Jane-ish, but anyway, let's soldier on, shall we? So what are we going to do here? Maybe we're just going to mount those three things and some sort of sentiment. If I do a circle sentiment, will that hide too much? Let's give it a go. So I have some white cardstock here. So there's also some awesome sentiments in this stamp set. Life is better when you're crafting. Well, isn't that a fact? You inspire me. Sending you a handmade hug. Like, how beautiful is that? So I'm going to use that one, and I'm going to stamp it in, I think in the Lost Lagoon, just to tie that in as well. Yeah, well, you know, we can't change history at this point. We can just you know, adapt as we are able. And you know, what do they say? If you don't learn from history, it will repeat it. Or you need to learn from history because it will repeat itself. So anyway, there we go. Okay, there's my handmade hug. Let me just give this a little bit of a clean off so that I don't forget. Okay, close this up so I don't lean in it. And then I'm bringing in my 2-inch punch, and I will be right up front with you. This is one of the online exclusive products, the 2-inch circle punch. It is not available right now. It's sold out, and so they are working on getting more in stock, and it will be available again once they have them, but it is not available right now. So I apologize, but you know, keep your eyes open for when that comes back because the circle punches are just wonderful. Okay, so it's maybe not so bad when I take up a little more space. What do we think? Does that work? Can we just can we call that a card? Still looks like it should be embossed to me. I'm just going to set that here, and I may run and emboss that at some point. But let's move on. Move on to something else. What? Oh, we could have the paper snips. Hmm. Hmm. Now this is too big, isn't it? But we need paper snips. Oh, we can put them right over. What do you think? Maybe. I like to pop things up. I'm not sure how that will work, but I suppose I could get a little tiny dimensional behind there. Okay, I am going to move on though. Oh, a heart. Somebody loves it. Thank you. Okay, so what shall we do next? Let's how about the art stand? What do we think? Um, so I did one of these and I stamped the flowers on. Um, similar. Okay, not an original idea. I stole it from the stamp set. It is 2 separate stamps, so you don't have to put that on there. But so this is Bubble Bath. So it's a brand new color. It's part of the core colors. And I thought I had grabbed a piece. Clearly I did not. Okay, well, moving on. I do have another Lost Lagoon card base here. Go, and we have, what do we want? Do we want to try Lemon Lolly on this one then? Since we used the Moody Mauve on this one. And I put this guy right in the middle there, and we have, oops, this is the Bubble Bath ink as well. Oh, that doesn't show very well on the camera, does it? It is quite light. The paper has a little more depth to it, and depending on what you're stamping, you can see it's quite a lovely pink. I was really hoping we would get a baby pink because we don't really have a baby pink, and this would work for baby girl pink. So quite happy about that. So here we have some brushes, and I could do that, and then we need some sort of a sentiment, right? How about you inspire me? I didn't bring any other shapes. And you know what? I had all sorts of paper shapes sitting on my desk, and I'm trying hard to clean up my desk so that I can kind of, get on with things. But here's what we're going to do. We are going to stamp this uh, in, how about in Bubble Bath? And then I'm going to fussy cut around it. And I don't need any kind of shape. I don't need a punch. I don't need a die. I will just grab my paper snips here. Oh, they're not lifting very easily. There we go. I will just grab my paper snips and then I can fussy cut my sentiment. And if those don't work too well, I'll grab these. Okay. You know me and fussy cutting, but oh my goodness. I have to say, I've been doing a little bit more of it, and like anything, the more you do, the better you get. I'm certainly not what I would consider, truly proficient at it yet, but I think I'm better, and I will tell you that I find it less bothersome. It'll probably never be my favorite thing, but I always like the way things look at the end when you have fussy cut them, and so that's why I sort of persist. And I did not order the new Zoo Crew bundle. There is the most adorable animal bundle in the new catalog. The designer series paper is to die for cute. So I did order that. So I have been fussy cutting little animals out of the designer series paper to use. There, that'll be sort of your basic easy card. That could work too. That one also, could stand to be embossed. They could all be embossed. I don't know why I wasn't thinking of that. I'm going to say, the brain was so excited about all these fun little bits and pieces that I didn't quite get that all put together. So this is Azure Afternoon. So here's the next one. We say Azure, and I don't honestly know how they say that word in the UK. But when they heard how we say it, I believe all over North America, certainly in Canada, and possibly the US, I'm not quite sure. But when they heard that we say Azure, they say it, if they say it very quickly, it's like, oh, how's your afternoon? How's your afternoon? It sounds like a British accent, kind of British, probably a terrible British. I apologize, anybody from the UK that's listening to me. But when my friend Louise, who is from the UK, said it, it was hilarious because, of course, her accent is, well, she would tell you she doesn't have an accent, but her her accent and saying it, the way we would say it, as your afternoon, how was your afternoon? It was very funny. Possibly more funny than in this exact moment here, but okay, moving on. Oh, we will make this the sewing card. How about sewing? Oh, this could be the everything one, right? Sewing and embroidery. And we can put a sentiment right into that. This, the embroidery hoop does cut a lovely circle, a lovely stitched circle. But of course, that was going to be too dark. Oh, I could do this though, couldn't I? Ha ha! Look, I could steal this and put that right onto there. That could work. My thought was that I would put the white center in. Now I don't know what to do. Well, I would stamp right on it, but I don't know if I would lose detail of the embroidery if I leave the same color in there. Let me just set it down here for a moment. We can take a look and think about it, because that would work too, couldn't it? Interesting. I think I may stamp on this one, but Anyway, and then we have a basket with a balls of yarn. Sounds like, how's your afternoon? Yes, it does sound exactly like that, doesn't it, Pat? You see? And that was what was so hilarious. How's your afternoon? But it's the color. It's as your. Anyway, yes, we were being silly, and it was lots of fun. Always good to hang out with girlfriends, crafting and chatting and being silly, right? Okay, now I have lost my, oh, there we go, my fourth spool of thread. So I'm going to put some of these together, and then we can decide what we're going to do with all of these things. Goodness. So this is the little piece, and these, I suppose, if you knew what you were going to do, you could put your adhesive sheets onto these, and that would make them very easy. They're not super tiny though. They're easy enough to put your liquid glue on. But stickers are fun. There we go. So for the spools I have used, that's Pebble Path, and this is Wild Wheat. And my yarn basket sitting on the card up there, that is Wild Wheat. So, oh, hello, Suzette. I'm glad you found me. I'm right here. This is where I hang out Wednesday afternoons and Thursday evenings. So on my Facebook page. Hey, Donna, I'm glad you like it. It's such a fun set. Oh my goodness. I've just had a ton of fun cutting out bits and pieces. I think for anyone that has followed me for a while, you know that when I get something like this, I just hit the die machine and cut out a bunch of pieces, and then I sort of sit down and try and figure out what to do with them now. So, okay. So there's our spools of thread that we could just kind of use as almost as embellishments, right? Not that we won't also add some gems. Oh, I maybe should have had different colored thread on there, or I should have a different color background, but I don't know. I don't think I cut anything else for a background. Oops, perhaps a little bit of glue on my fingers. I guess you could see those okay, right? Okay, so I have not embossed anything, but I think we'll just go ahead and put these together. Oh, we could use, could put this under it. This might work better. This is not cut, but I'll just get out my trimmer and cut it. Okay, maybe I'll use the larger trimmer because it's a big sheet of cardstock. How's that for justifying it? Okay. Just gonna plump that right down on there. We'll be okay. And we will cut a piece of this to use for that. Okay. This might work a little bit better. Yeah, you'll see that, won't you? You'll see it better on there. Okay, so did we decide we like that with the pink inside rather than the white inside? I could stamp on here and then we could make that decision. Maybe I'll stamp on here with the Azure Afternoon. And let's see what will fit. I don't know whether this handmade hub. Oh, I think it will fit. We'll give it a go. And we will see. just going to come and hover over top of this. Actually, you know what? I'm going to stick my head in here. I apologize if you get the back of my head for a moment. There we go. Half a Stampin' Pierce mat covered with a sheet of paper for for when you go over the edges with your stamping. It adds that extra bit of cushion for your photopolymer stamps. And since this is a photopolymer stamp set, it's exactly what we need. Okay, I like that. Oh, yeah, wrong color for there, right? So I think I need to go back to this and then we'll put this in there. Okay, shall we start to put some of these babies together? Since we've got all these bits and pieces now, we've kind of laid them out, made a couple of decisions. So I think I am going to start by gluing my wool into my basket. So I'm just going to put a little bit of liquid glue on the bottom of this because I just want it to sit in the basket. Okay. There we go. Should maybe I'll just throw these things with my silicone mat so I don't end up with glue where I don't want glue. And then, okay, let's see. Shall we pop up? Let's pop up the sewing machine. We'll get a couple of dimensionals onto him. And see where we go from there. Sorry, I'm very slow at taking the backs of these little guys. That's why I like the cut ones. I seem to be able to get them apart easier. So I recall I had that right there. And this guy goes about here. This I will do with liquid glue because I am not going to cut many dimensionals to fit onto this. That would just be a little bit painful. So I'll just put a little bit of our liquid glue onto here. This is where the silicone, your hand goes over the edge. You don't end up with sticky stuff on your work surface. This guy here or up here, we'll put him down up on this part, and this might pop up. I think it's going to have to be flat, or it's going to kind of shadow. And I don't know if we really want that. We want to see this hoop. So just a little bit of the back of him and stick him right down into the embroidery hoop. Oh, and yeah, we could. I think we need this out here. We could pop him up. Okay, so this, you know, normally I do this in about half an hour, but because I played with so many bits and pieces, this is going to take, this is probably going to take the hour to get this all sort of put together. But anyway, hang in if you can. And oh, out there, and then oh, okay. We will decide if we're going to pop these up based on how well the dimensional fits. Oh, look, I think it fits. Okay, so we can pop these guys up too. So everything is popped up except the sentiment, which is a little bit backwards to how I usually do things, but it's okay. It's a new catalog. We'll do things in a new way. And I think I'm just going to kind of scatter these around. Just just for fun. If you have not placed an order, or even if you have placed your order, if you didn't notice, Stampin' Up! Has been, I'll say blown out of the water, because I think that's really sort of what it amounts to. Blown out of the water by the number of orders they got during pre-order and quite possibly today. So they are working around the clock to get stuff out of their warehouse and on its way to us. But you do need to know that their days to ship, which is normally 1 to 2, is running 4 to 12 right now. So you do need to pack your patience and know that even though we are all very excited to get our new goodies, that it is going to take a bit longer than usual. They're doing everything they can, but but apparently a whole lot of us wanted many, many things, and so they are very busy. But as I say, they have like all hands on deck. They've got people working overtime, and everybody, they've canceled training where they could, and they're doing everything they can to get things out to us, to get them moving. But it is taking a little bit of time, so they are asking for patience. Okay, so I did that sitting. Oh, it could. Well, no, I don't know about the. I'll find. We'll look in a minute. Sorry, I'm bouncing around here, aren't I? I was going to say that I could put that onto Staple or something. So we'll see whether we want it right on the cardstock there, or whether we want it sitting in its own little frame in a moment. Okay, this art easel, you could do lots of things with this too. I've just sort of gone pretty straight up with it today, just for the first go with it, but could do some fun playing with that in the future. And of course, now that the catalog is live, we will start to see even more sharing from other people. So when you ask Mr. Google for ideas, or when you go to Pinterest and stuff, there will start to be more and more ideas, which is good and bad. I mean, it's great that everybody is so generous in sharing their creative ideas. But it's not great if you're cruising around and you see something that you had decided you did not need, because then you see someone use it and all of a sudden it's like, oh, I just have to have that. And that can be dangerous. So yes. Okay, so I brought a bunch of Lost Lagoon card bases, but I did not bring a piece of Lost Lagoon cardstock. Do have this. That looks a little bit dark. Do maybe not. Or maybe we'll just pop this guy up on. We'll just go for it, eh? I do not have a whole lot of gems from the new catalog, and I kind of forgot. How could I forget to order more gems? Well, okay, I didn't entirely forget. I ordered some that I need for an upcoming event, and I'll be honest, I had sort of, blown the budget, but somehow, I don't know how it happened, but anyway, I didn't order a lot of new gems. I did order some new ribbons. The ribbons are kind of calling to me in the catalog. There's a beautiful pecan edged ribbon, and And then there's the in color ribbons. And so we need some of those. There we go. Okay, one more. Let's do, we're down to the paper crafting. See, we left the paper crafting to the end. I just love these scissors. I think they are so much fun. I love, well, okay, let's be honest. I love all these things. It's, this is just one of those sets that is just a bunch of fun and so great for making cards for all of our friends, right? How many of your friends like paper crafting or some other kind of crafts? Knitting, sewing, crocheting, painting, embroidery. You know, I mean, there's so many crafts out there, crafts and hobbies that people do. I don't know where I want this now. I'm thinking maybe towards the middle. Will it fit? I put it about there. And then this, and then we do the scissors off of here. Is that gonna kind of work, eh? Do we think? So this is not glued down. I should perhaps put a little dab of glue under here, just so it doesn't slide around. So I'm just going to reach in under here and just put a little dot of glue and then stick that down. About there. Oh. And then we will pop it up with some dimensionals. Anyone that doesn't always follow me, you may or may not know about my obsession with dimensionals, but yep, it exists. I might have to try. You know what? Let me stick this back on here. Will this fit better? This, I have an edge piece sitting here. I don't know if that one's gonna fit any better. I'll just trim it all up. Hello, Lorna. Thanks for stopping in. We are playing with one of the new bundles from the new catalog that went live today. And this is called Crafting for You. And it is just, well, it's nothing but good fun. We are having some fun and making some cards and hanging out. So, yes. Okay, look at this trimmer. Don't you love it? It's just, they did such a good job making things look exactly like our things. So that's what I love about it. The detail is incredible. So hats off to whoever the designer was on this. The Stampin' Up! Designers are, they are a very talented bunch of people, for one. See some of the stuff that they do. It's incredible. There we go. And then I think I'm going to put these right off the top here. Yes. Okay. So I'm going to put just a little bit of glue on that one handle. And then I'm going to put a dimensional onto here. And that should hold it all in place. So when you're putting something on a piece that already has a dimensional under it, you want to glue it down flat and then put a dimensional under any part that is now onto this. So this is already raised. So here I have glue and there I have raised, and then it will be, it'll lie evenly. What fun. And we will put this onto our card base. All right, Lost Lagoon. There we go. Look at that. Oh my goodness. Is that fun or what? Here, we'll break up the color. And what shall we do for bling? I don't have a lot of new bling, but I have lots of bling. good grief, never without gems, right? Those aren't really any of the colors that I use, but let's see what else we have in here. Oh, maybe some iridescent pearls or some iridescent rhinestones. Oh, pebbled. So many pretty things. We need more cards so we can use more gems. And then even, no, I don't think the festive pearls are quite right, although I do have silver and gold in those. Just do some little silver, little gold. Oh dear, too many decisions. When in doubt, go with rhinestones. Okay, we'll make a decision with these three things. So, rhinestones for this guy? Does that work? Sure. Okay. We'll do some rhinestones on here. I'll put that right down near the hug. And then we'll sprinkle in some of these there. Lots? Should we put on lots? She asks. Lots of shine, lots of sparkle, lots of fun. Okay. What about this one? Maybe these guys, eh? They kind of coordinate with the colors in there, do we think? Oh, that one's different. Okay, clearly you jumped off of your page, whatever your page was, and landed over here because you're not the same. That's okay. Oh, come on. Oof, very sticky. There we go. A little bit on there. And what do you think? Are these too pinky purple for that? Or do they work? Use these, or should I use these? And then I've used all three. Oh, look. Yes, let's not show favoritism. Let's use all three. There we go. And I used all the gems. All right. So, and I still have some pieces left over to play with. Life is good. Okay. Let me just join you once again. There we go. I'm back. So thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope you've had some fun. I have had a ton of fun. Crafting with the set, you have to check out this bundle. Crafting with You. It's got dies, it's got a stamp set, and it's a lot of fun. And it's all the things, maybe it's so much fun because it's all the things we love, right? Who hasn't done just about every craft out there, right? Many of us have a long list of crafts that we have done over the years. So this captures a few of them. Anyway, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I really appreciate it. I truly do. Thanks, and have an awesome day. I hope to craft with you again really soon. Take care, everyone. Bye for now.